We live? Welcome to the June 1st Town Board meeting. Mitch Friedman, could you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we're going to have an invocation by Sister Mary from Grace Episcopal Church. Sister Mary, would you like us to sit or stand, or what would you like?
Doesn't matter, whatever anyone wants to do.
Okay.
Reverend.
Reverend Sister, the Venerable Reverend
It's just plain old Mother Mary.
Mother Mary.
The Lord be with you.
Also with you.
Let us pray. Lord, you have called us together in this place to show your glory and to reflect your presence in all that we do. Fill our hearts with thankfulness for this time and season in which we live. Help us to enable all our neighbors to fully enjoy this season and do so with joy and safety. And give us the patience and forbearance with each other to give the time we need, so that when we leave this place, we leave as brothers and sisters until the next time that we meet. All this we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Mother Mary. I'm going to give you every venerable.
Every title you can give me.
Every title.
Okay, let's start. Divine Ruler of the Universe.
That would be, no, we can't give you that one.
That's yours.
That was taken.
That's yours.
Mother Mary, thank you for coming from Grace Episcopal Church. And the next, can I get the Labor Management Committee up, and our favorite employee of the year, right? John, he's like running down there.
Officer Fenton? Oh, upstairs.
All right. Mike, you are a fantastic town employee. It is with great pleasure that I give this award to you, and I think the Labor Management Committee, I'm sure, feels the same way. Mike is one of these guys. I mean, I deal with him. I dealt with you before when I was in the town attorney's office, and he's one of these people that work for the town that if something needs to be done and you ask him, he'll do it. As long as he can do it, he'll do it. It's never, Mike is never somebody that comes in and says, this is the problem, and with no solution. He knows the solution and he implements it. I can't say enough nice about him. Although if my car gets that torque converter rock, you got to fix it.
You just have to approve the money to do so.
Tara? Where's Tara? When we made a decision to, and it was a tough decision, even with the police cars, we had to put extra miles on them to get through the year. I knew that as much as Mike probably was not happy under his breath that we were doing this, I knew that he and the staff with Whale were going to get us through, and they've done that. So, I mean, you are fantastic. You're doing a fantastic job for the town garage. And who from Labor Management wants to butter him up a little more?
Jan wants to talk from the garage. So.
All right. Well.
Yep.
On behalf of all of us in Mike's department, we congratulate him. You so deserve this award. Mike is not your typical civil servant. While you might find others looking at the clock and running out the door at 3:30, he is in early every day and will always stay a little extra if need be. He is efficient and quick. He constantly beats the industry standard for the time it takes to do a job, whether it is an oil change, a brake job, or head gaskets. He is our expert when it comes to wiring all the police vehicles for their computers, light bars, and sirens. He always steps up to the plate and is a real team player. You can count on him to do an impound at midnight, again at 3 a.m., and then he still gets here before 7. One time, one of our employees drove a car into a huge puddle in the middle of a parking lot, had to be towed out, and ended up with $1,000 worth of damage. Unless you do something that stupid, Mike always has a big smile for you. He is a great mechanic, and the town is lucky to have him.
Anybody else want to say anything?
I just want to say something. If you go up to our municipal garage and we get these new cars, or we have old cars that really break down, and Mike will have a book out there. If he doesn't know what to do, he gets his old trusty book out. Whatever model it is, whatever diesel engine is, whatever gas engine is, he'll go through that book and read it, get into that car and repair it or wire it. We got new police cars that have new wiring. Mike never saw it before. He got out the directions that the manufacturer sent to him. He followed the directions, and he had this car wired up. So that's the dedication that he has. And I just want to thank him. Doing a great job.
Thank you, John.
I need to say that I was the one that counted the ballots for Mike. I didn't even have to count them. They were numerous. Everybody in the town knew who Mike Curtis was. And we as labor management would like to honor employees like this, because these are the kind of people that keep our town running. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
I'll keep it brief. Mike, you were just coming as I was leaving. I appreciate what you do downtown garage, but I always wondered, when attorneys can bill out 80 minutes in an hour, how we can bill out 24 hours in a day, and now we know why. He does work so efficiently and so quickly. We appreciate what you do.
All right, Mike, in addition to a day off, I guess we give you this lovely town seal.
Thank you.
And your own parking spot. You get your own parking spot at the garage. Not all.
Who's there when he gets there so early?
All right, Mike, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much. You want to say anything?
Just thank you. That's about it.
Well, thank you for keeping us all safe.
Thank you.
Yeah, enjoy.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Mike.
Back to work is right. All right. Where are we? John, this is, there you go. That John always offers the minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of the town board meeting on May 18th, 2011, the special town board meeting on May 26th, 2011, and an amendment to the minutes of the town board meeting on April 20th, 2011. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded. Vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
The minutes are approved.
Okay, Diane, reports.
Sure. Under reports, tax receiver, total tax collection dated May 19th, $77 million, $199,957.17. Total tax collection dated May 26th, $93,985,598.52. The sewer district submitted their discharge monitoring report for April. Under correspondence, there were 2 letters of the same concern. Letter expressing concerns of proposed developments in Wading River in support of short-term moratorium, one from April Poe-Corney and Kathleen Pantaleo. Under applications, we had an application from the Railroad Museum of Long Island for their annual Railroad Festival, May 27th and May 28th. Martha Clara Vineyards.
They had that already.
Did they have? Yeah, that's right, they did. And Martha Clara Vineyards temporary tent on their grounds, running from May 26th through July 21st. Under parade permits, Jamesport Fire Department Sound to Bay 10K run on August 28th. And that's it.
Okay, say other reports from the town committees. Nope.
No.
Okay, then we'll move on to the town board first public hearing, which was scheduled for 2:05. That's a consideration of a proposed local law to amend Chapter 48 of the Riverhead Town Code entitled Beach and Recreation Centers. Article 1, use of designated beach, and Article 2, use of recreation centers. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this was more of a housekeeping because.
We've been
Right.
charged.
Oh, that's what. All right, well, we opened the hearing. Let's close the hearing temporarily because we have a cute adoptable dog to bring up.
So cute.
What's this little one's name?
This is Jackson.
Jackson. Wow, look how cute.
Jackson.
All right, now,
How cute is you?
Jackson is cute.
All right.
Oh my
Wow.
He's so cute.
Oh, come on. Somebody in this room is going to adopt this dog. So what's the stats on Jackson?
Jackson is approximately 4 years old. He comes from a broken home.
Oh, hold on a second. We're gonna get this so people know. So Jackson is 4 years old, comes from a broken home,
So he needs a new home.
needs a new home, and he's very cute, cuddly, and affectionate. How old is Jackson?
4 years.
4 years, and what male fee? Well,
A male Maltese.
don't leave. Don't you have Malteses?
I have one.
You haven't.
There you go.
There you go. There's a new one.
Also, I have to give it to my wife.
Look at how cute this dog is. If this dog doesn't get adopted by the end of the day, something's wrong here.
Cute, and they're so lovable.
Look at how cute.
The little girl having needs.
Wow.
That's it.
All right, well, animal shelter, Jim, what's the animal shelter's phone number?
Oh, boy, 369
6189.
6189.
369-6189, 369-6189. Is that Supervisor Stark sitting back there? Supervisor Stark, looking good. Okay, well, thank you for coming out.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Maureen.
I expect 10 phone
That's right, 6189.
That's right.
What is this?
She's adorable.
All right.
You gonna sing to me? Here you go, birthday present. There you go.
All right.
Did you say male?
Yes, male.
Then I would have
John, you want to take him up?
the 3 kids fight over the one, then I would have to get a third so that they can each have one.
Actually, my wife would probably like that.
That's a good-looking little dog.
Yes, it
So
is.
cute.
And
Okay.
they are so lovable.
Back to the public hearing. So this is a public hearing. I believe that our fees that we were charging were not properly reflected in the code, and we were charging 45, which is what was adopted, but for whatever reason, it was never changed in the code so many years ago.
Right, this is just an update.
And so we are now making the code match the charges, and that's the use of designated beach permit fees, and seasonal resident parking permits. Does anybody wish to be heard on this subject?
Yep.
Is that a yes?
That's a yes.
Okay.
It's not a yup, it's a yes.
Yes.
Eric Beegler, 110 Park Road, Riverhead. So everybody keeps saying it's a housekeeping or housekeeping kind of a task. I've got some objections to that, and I'd like to bring up some points. This has kind of been, we've been charged these fees for, I don't know, 2004, since 2004, 2002. Has anybody found out when it was originally changed in the plans or in the code?
My guess is that this was sent up to the Secretary of State, probably was changed, if it never was changed by general code publishers, is my.
Well, what I know is that for the last couple of years, it was done by a town board resolution in January setting fees. So there was a town board action which established the fees at the 45 and 15 without a reference being made
Okay.
to the actual chapter 48.
Chapter
So
48, yeah.
So there was a town board action taken to establish the fees, but there was not a commensurate change to the actual code provisions which are being now changed.
No, that's great. There's two parts to this. There's the Article 1, which addresses beach driving, and then there's Article 2, which addresses parking lot, correct? Okay. I'd like to stay with Article 1, if I may, just for a couple of seconds. And that's that it says that this permit in Article in Chapter 48-9, it says the expiration dates of the permits will last from Labor Day of that year. It will expire Labor Day of that year, 48-9. But in section 48.7, it says it will run from January 1st to December 31st. So you have a conflict here in the code of when this permit, now we're only talking about beach driving permits now, expire.
That's actually a year round.
Not according to section 48-9 of the code. It says that it expires as of Labor Day.
Want me to get my code book?
Get your code.
We're looking at the same thing, it's online.
Ray, when do they expire? Are they good for a year?
And I agree with that, that's what it says on the permits, but that's not what it says in the code. I just want to
Okay,
clarify
so
that.
we have
We
to,
did mention that when the resolution was on, but the resolution had already been done, and
Okay.
I thought it was a
So-
little too late, so we need to
Yeah.
do further public hearing.
So I am correct that there's a conflict
I think you
here.
mentioned that, and I did not look at that particular.
Okay. I mean, I really think that we need to take a look at this code and maybe address the code in its entirety and get some changes made, because the other part of this is that this beach permit does not exist anymore. There is no way that I can buy a beach driving permit for $45 or for $35. It doesn't exist.
what, Ray, what does it cost?
Costs $60 because it's a combination permit, and there is no resolution that adopts a combination permit at this point in time. So we are being charged for a $60 permit, which reflects parking in the parking lot, and a beach driving permit. But should I just want to buy a beach driving permit, I can't do that.
Okay. You have to buy both of them, so you can either park, so you can park.
So you
In
want
the
to see where
parking
the
lot.
code is,
Yeah.
right?
But I don't want to park in the parking lot, I want to drive on
All
the
right,
beach.
well, we're going to have our department head answer the question. So
Okay.
you've asked the question, we're going to have them answer.
All right, so while we're looking at that regulation in this part of the section of driving on the beach, I also want to point out that there are very limited vehicle requirements for obtaining this permit. It does not even say that it needs to be a four-wheel drive vehicle to buy this permit. You could go and buy the permit if you have a Volkswagen Beetle or a Corvette for that matter. Not that I suggest driving on the beach with a Corvette, but you could, because it says that there's no regulations. In addition to regulations, I suggest that the town look very hard at Suffolk County regulations for driving on the beaches and adopt some of their regulations, such as vehicles must be equipped with a jackboard, a shovel, a rope, a chain, a snap chain, fire extinguishers, tire gauge, flashlight, something to get yourself out of the beach if you get yourself in trouble. You should require vehicles not to only drive on designated roads and cuts and not on vegetation. That is not clearly spelled out in this code whatsoever. All vehicles must park perpendicularly to the dune and not parallel to the dune to protect our erosion problem, which we all know we have
Right.
up and down on the beaches. Ruts, holes, and dugouts created by stuck vehicles should be fixed and repaired by the people who've got their vehicles stuck. I think this code has to be addressed in a lot more detail. It has to be looked at besides just bringing the prices up.
Yep.
Because now you have no regulation whatsoever. You're just giving out these permits and you're letting people drive on the beach who have no experience, no capabilities whatsoever. They don't even have the proper vehicles. And I got to tell you, myself and a lot of the members of the fishing clubs around here have to pull them off the beach. So it becomes
I think you're right.
I also think you should look at the insurance required by the vehicles who drive on the beach. Because insurance levels, it says that they have to have coverage of $10,000 to $20,000 worth of liability. I certainly don't think that's enough for some of the vehicles that are down on the beach. If I tow a Mercedes-Benz and I happen to bend their axle, the guy's going to sue me for a lot of money. So I think this really has to be looked at least Article 1 of it has to be looked at real hard.
Yep.
I want to refer now back to Article 2, which is the parking lot fees, which are going up from $10 to $15, or going to be corrected from $10 to $15. These are the ones that we switched to seasonal permits at this point in time. I still think we are going to be looking at, or the board has promised that they would look at going back to a year-round permit, and they'll analyze that, but that's got nothing to do with this issue at the moment. It's just to do with this.
Right.
I believe that in this article, it talks about non-resident parking permits. I want to mention a change that took place, and I appreciate it, because I think last year I brought up the fact that a lot of them were being duplicated and
Right, yes.
counterfeited. You've adopted a new rule that says only the parking lot attendant on duty will be selling parking lot day passes. I think those day passes need to go up in price, as well as the rest of the community, and the residents are paying more. I think non-residents should pay more. It needs to be addressed. It needs to be gone.
It's $35, isn't it?
It's
It needs
30,
to go from $25 to $50.
no, it's 35.
I think it's 35 right now.
It's 35.
Well, if it's 35 a day, you have another code that you have to look at, because according to the
Yeah.
code, it says it's
It's-
$25 a day.
It's 35 because my son came out to visit me. He went to the beach, and he almost had a heart attack when he had to pay $35.
Well,
For the day
section,
pass, so it is
section
35.
3, part B of it says that it is $25, $75, and $50. So that needs to be addressed also.
Put this resolution forward. I'm,
I think this entire section of
Yeah,
the
the whole
code has to
What's
be
the- this come
relooked
out of
at.
code division?
Actually, and you're right, this code, but all our other codes have to be looked at because there are a lot of misinformation in other codes too, so.
I mean, it's just we're asking people to pay more money than we have down on our books, and somebody's going to turn around and sue us and say, no, I don't want to pay this kind of money, and we're going to have a whole big fight about it.
All right, Eric, before we adopt, maybe we adopt this code provision, maybe we don't, but Bob, I'd like the town, don't worry about code revision, the town attorney's office ought to be able to figure out how to make sure all the fees and everything are
This was
correct.
an effort to get it done quickly. If all these issues hadn't been brought to attention, we'll do it. We'll
All
do
right,
it.
let's,
Yeah.
I'll be more than happy to sit and volunteer my time to go through this code with anybody who wants to listen and talk about
Very
it.
good. Well, I think we could probably go through and try to figure out where our, if we're setting, I don't know why we set permit fees by resolution, because the resolution doesn't overrule a local law, so let's go back and take a look at this and see whether there's some other things that need to be done. I think that this, you disagree with what?
Town board resolution, current town board resolution override.
Town code, no.
They're just not updating the code?
No, you
You
can't
have to
update a
adopt a
town,
local
you have
law.
to adopt a local law. But Bob, if we can go forward,
We just did on taxi cab ordinances.
Right.
I don't know what you said.
Okay.
Okay. You want, we'll go back.
let's go back and look at it. We may adopt this because it may fix some of the problem, but let's look at the code, that section of the code.
I think that whole section could be
Yes.
looked
Let's
at.
look at the whole
I
section of the
think-
code and see whether there's other things that need to be addressed. And I don't disagree, and Mr. Denseski may come up and say something, but I think that it is a good idea to require jackboards and jacks and chains and things as Suffolk County requires. And the chief of police and I have discussed this many times, and when I was in the town attorney's office, we almost put that in the code. And so I'm not opposed to having certain safety requirements. I think that is,
Yeah, no
it's
safety
good
is
for it's good for the safety of the guy driving on the beach. And it's good for the residents, because you could be stuck behind the guy stuck and not be able to get off the beach. So
And maybe we want to also restrict it to 4x4s, like you
That
say, these
would-
cars,
would
that's
kinda-
important there. That would eliminate half this equipment, because it's there to pull them out, probably more than. more often than not.
I agree, and I know I'm going to go off subject just a little, and I hope you indulge me here. We're going to be increasing the costs, and again, I know it's not increasing the charges to the residents. This is charges we've been experienced for a long time, but this money needs to be applied to our beaches. It needs to go out there and it needs to protect our beaches. It needs to go out there and replenish the facilities that we hold a lot of pride in this community. And I bring some pictures with me today, and it's only of Reeves, because we've talked about scenic vistas, and I want to point out that this is a scenic vista of Reeves Beach. It's an erosion. It's a sign of just sand piled up. It's a bathhouse that was built in the 1970s that is falling apart and has more rats living in it than it does people using it. coupled with a wonderful, and it really is a nice memorial to a gentleman who spent a lot of time up at Reeves Beach. It's a wonderful little plaque in stone. The family comes up and puts wonderful decorations on it. And this is what they did for Memorial Day. They came up and they celebrated it. And I want to point out that right behind where this celebration is 3 porta potties and a stack of garbage cans. So on Memorial Day weekend, when Reeves Beach is it's the 3rd busiest holiday during the summer, we've got 3 porta potties and a stack of garbage cans.
Thank
We
you.
have other scenic vistas.
Do you want to make those part of the record?
I'll make them part of the
You're
record.
a little off topic, but
I know, I'm drifting off topic, but I want to make it clear that there's some improvements that need to be made. There's exposed electrical wires down at Reeves Beach that have been there for years on the lighting that's down there. If you can't fix it, remove it. It's that simple. If just leaving the wires loose, and there's pictures of the wires, somebody's going to get electrocuted, someone's going to have problems down
all
there.
right. Well, we're going to ask
I'll
our
make it part of the
recreations-
record. You can all take a look at them as you want, but I think you should add that when you're considering looking at revitalizing or renovating beach codes and doing different things. You should look at making some improvements.
Well, we've made some improvements, and I think the police chief has indicated, did we start?
On this past weekend, no, it starts into June.
The end of June? Okay. So we are starting with our beach patrols with the police officers, which is something we said we would do. I thought we were starting at, what happened to Memorial Day?
We're traditionalists in the police department, we don't start until
Till July 1st, July 4th weekend?
Until the what?
No.
Until the lifeguards start?
I know they were there,
Okay.
I know. To the end of June, last weekend.
Okay, so you are gonna have police patrols along the North Shore, and I think it's gonna be 2 officers at a time, or is it 1?
Let me
So-
recommend as you look at doing that you don't send them necessarily there at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, because obviously nobody can drive on the beach because the parking lot attendants, who are great, by the way, stop them from entering the beach. It's that magic hour of 5, 6 o'clock, just before 6 o'clock starts, when the lifeguards leave and the parking attendants leave, or earlier in the morning.
We said we'd do it, and we're doing it.
Okay?
All right, Eric, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Danseski,
Can I just ask Ray a question?
well, I was gonna have Ray come up at the end in case
Okay.
there's more questions coming up.
Ken Danseski, president of the East End Surf Fishing
Actually,
Club.
we
We were
should
founded here in the town of
swear you
Riverhead in
in.
1931.
Hold on, Ken. It's a public hearing, don't we? No, you're right. Yep, you're right.
The other problem with the issue, the signage at all the 4x4 entrances to the town. Number 1 states that we're to drive between the high tide and the low tide mark. I believe it should state below the mean high tide mark. That brings a problem. Where do we drive at high tide? Same thing with the rights of the private homeowners. They own, I believe, to the mean high tide mark, not the high tide mark. Same thing, I'd like to join Mr. Beegler in any questions or anything that may need any revisions to the town code. This was done in the early 70s by Joe Hall, who I know his son is on your planning board. Would be more than happy to help you with these codes. Same thing to mirror the towns around us and the Suffolk County Code. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for all your help with the beach cleanup.
Oh, yes, by the way, a 30-yard dumpster and a 40-yard dumpster we filled up.
Thank you.
At Reeves and Roanoke. Geo did not have a dumpster for Iron Pier. I was at Iron Pier. We got permission to go into the state park. We cleaned everything right to Halleckville State Park.
Nice.
To my amazement, there's horse poo all over the beach in that state park. Aren't we trying to make the sound a no discharge zone?
I
Okay.
think we
Yeah.
tried to get the state to allow us to continue to drive on the beach in this, when they came out with their proposed amendments. And at the time, they didn't allow driving on the beach and they didn't allow the horses on the beach. They relented. I think the horses are allowed on the beach, but the driving's not. And I agree with you. I think the driving is less probably hazardous to the beach than the horses. But we were not successful, and we did ask them in writing. Actually, Joe Hall spearheaded that.
Okay, as quoted in Riverhead Local, at the very end of that hearing, that public hearing that was held up at Halleckville, The state parks were not aware that horse riding was a previous use, that it was, well, came up and I said, well, we've been driving on that beach under the town of Riverhead code long before they allowed the horses. They amended the park rules to allow the horses on the beach, but they're not letting us on the beach.
You're right.
Where is the sense in that?
You have to speak to your state representative.
I have spoke to Mr. Lavelle, and he is working on it.
Yeah, I mean, we've done what we could. All right, is anybody else, are you done, Ken?
Just one issue, I'd like to note that since there was not a dumpster at the Iron Pier, we had 22 volunteers at the Iron Pier. We carted all that garbage back to the dumpster at Reeves Beach. We did not leave it at the Iron Pier.
Nice,
It was totally clean.
Thank you.
Nice work.
A little shorter than this.
Just pull it down, there you go.
My name is Susan Reeve, and no, I'm not married to John. I see that smile. I'm from Riverhead on Sound Avenue specifically. I lend my support as a member of this community to both of the gentlemen who just got through speaking with a footnote. I joined the fishing club because these guys go down with their vehicles like I did as a private citizen, pick garbage up. I put lawn chairs that were in the water on top of the hood of my truck. I've seen Ken put all kinds of garbage on the back of his truck and take it up. I haven't seen anybody that walks the beach do that until I've asked them. I also go up to Spanish people and ask them to please not throw their basura on the ground. No basura means no garbage. Nobody's down there doing anything. I hope your police officers that come down will get to know those of us that are local and care about the sound, because I'll tell you what, right now, it's a totally different story than what I grew up seeing. There's almost no fish, nobody cares about anything. I caught 2 people climbing the banks last week, and I said, please don't climb up and down the banks, it causes erosion. The guy said, well, I'm a Riverhead resident. I can do this. That's not the first time. So you gotta get it clear to people. No running up and down the banks by sign or whatever, no garbage, and I don't care if you have to put it in Spanish or English or what. It doesn't matter, you can put it in Greek for all I care. Just make sure somebody knows that they gotta pick up and take up whatever they brought down, and better to take up more than what they brought
Well,
down.
it is my hope that by having the 2 police officers patrol the beaches during the summertime, that this is going to change the culture a little bit down there. It has in other places in the downtown areas, and I'm sure the officers will get to know some of you, and I'm sure they're not going to go just that one time. The police know how to do what they have to do, and I think that's going to make a difference.
Now,
I'd be surprised if it didn't.
Concerning the price of the stickers, I do not park in the parking lot. Why do I have to pay to park in a combination sticker? That's my question to the
We're going to ask
whatever.
that's a question we're going to ask.
Thank you, that's one. The other thing is, why is it that all of us that are in the know about what's needed and not needed down there have licenses, but I bet you go down there any day of the weekend and you won't find too many of the people that are down there that have licenses for fishing. Even though we don't have to pay for them, we have to have that little yellow card that says we're licensed to fish, even though there's no fee for the next 2 years. And also,
this is way off the scope of the public hearing, but
Well-
that's more of a DEC enforcement issue than a town of Riverhead enforcement issue.
Will we have availability of a, what does Jim do? He's the bay?
Jim Divan.
Yeah.
Jim is out there patrolling the beaches and the bays, but if we could focus on the fees, the whole purpose of the public hearing was the fees.
Okay. Well, I guess my point is, if you're gonna charge me or anybody else in this town, we gotta work on keeping that beach cleaned up and lawful. And keep some of these people that are not lawful off the beach one way or the other, whether you gotta give them tickets or whatever. whatever.
Okay.
I agree.
Granted, Susan. Consider it
Thank
forced.
you.
I agree with you.
All right, does anybody else wish to be heard? Ray, you're up. How you doing, Ray? I guess a question, we had a couple questions, and I think you're going to be part of going through the code with the town, one of the deputy town attorneys to try to get all the fees together. But if we're charging $45 for a beach fee, driving on the beach, why would we make them buy a parking fee if they don't choose to?
All right, this is how we came to that conclusion. For many years, we analyzed the stickers and who buys them and the complaints. We measure all the complaints. The overwhelming majority of the complaints were that the people had to buy 2 stickers. They had to buy one to drive and then one to park. And our numbers were indicated over 90-something% of the people got the combination. They complain. They don't want to put one sticker on the car, let alone 2.
Right.
So we came up with the idea of combining it to one sticker. And again, we've gotten a lot of praise over the last year for doing that, and people like that. People do have the ability, now if you were told no, let me know. We have the ability in the office to give you a separate sticker. I have an ability with my signature to give you a sticker just to drive on the beach as well. So I don't know if you've asked for that or if they told you that, but you can come in and see me, and I can give you a separate sticker for that.
Oh, that works fine.
Okay, we followed the code
Problem
in
solved.
this case by the book.
So then they would only have to
what's
pay the
the,
45.
What's
Yeah,
the
it's only
difference between the 2 stickers?
Well,
$30.
well, yeah, it's 45 and 50.
No, I know
right?
the price, but I mean, if someone
One-
passes them and is parked in the parking lot, how can they tell that they only paid $45?
Oh, well, they wouldn't. Basically, you have to put the sticker, the 4x4 sticker, into a. We had informed the cops too. You have to put it in a certain spot in the car.
But Ray has a separate sticker if they just want to drive
Well,
on
that's
the
what I'm
beach.
asking them.
Yeah, no, we would give them a placard for their car, and they'd put it right in the same spot. You know what I'm saying? They would put it in the back.
And it's different than the universal sticker
Yes,
that would allow them to
yes.
drive
It's an
on the
orange
beach
placard.
and park in the parking
So if
lot.
Jim Divan was to go up to him, he would see it. It's a special placard from my department. Only my department can do this with my signature on it.
Okay.
So, and again, you're talking about a lot of people. 95% of them get the combination
No, I
sticker.
agree.
So we didn't really feel like the expense of getting a separate.
I mean, you only.
Well, you have to come up. All right, Ray, what?
Can I bring it over to him?
No, Ray, Ray,
he'll
get
come
in.
back, but what was your?
What else? Anything? Oh, about the porta potties. I want to address that because I agree with you. Memorial Day weekend was not the weekend we wanted to put those porta potties out, but we were told of a problem in those bathrooms, which we have been trying to replace. I'll address that in a second. And either we had to wait and wait the weekend. And there was issues going on inside the bathroom, which I didn't want people to see. So I decided not to wait and have the issue being solved right away. That made it a danger to the kids. And I didn't want, and when it comes to danger, I'd rather look at porta potties than have any kid hurt. So I decided to put the 3 porta potties up for the weekend. The problem has been solved. Those porta potties are gone. And as far as the bathroom, we put in for a new bathroom in 2007. The DEC has given us tons of problems with footprints and where to put it. As far as where we have to hook up, it's been a nightmare. But the money was sitting there. I don't like looking at those bathrooms nor cleaning them either. So, but we're not going to give up on that. So
All right.
engineering has it.
I think we covered so much more than beach stickers. Does anybody else wish to be heard on beach stickers and fees? Not seeing anybody, we will close the public comment portion and leave it open to written comment until the 9th, June 9th. Is that Friday? Anybody have a calendar out here? Yeah, that's June 9th.
June 10th is Friday. June 9th is Thursday.
June 10th.
June 10th is Friday.
At 4:30 p.m. at the town clerk's office. All right. Well, thank you for coming. We're going to take up resolutions. Does anybody wish to be heard on the resolutions? No? Diane, let's get
All
started.
right, I'd like to close the town board meeting and open the community development agency meeting. So moved.
Bye, Kenny.
So can I get a second on the opening this?
And seconded.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes. Okay, Chris?
Community Development Agency Resolution Number 11 authorizes the chairman to execute a license agreement with Sun Never Sets Productions LLC to utilize portions of Town of Riverhead Enterprise Park at Calverton Western Runway and Taxiway and Drummond Boulevard River Road in Calverton for the Top Gear series.
So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
The resolution is therefore duly adopted. And that
Thank you.
I
concludes
need a
business.
motion to close
I'd
the
like to
CDA.
make a motion to close the CDA meeting and reopen the town board meeting. So moved.
And second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
All right, yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
And that completes business
I
of
like
the
the CDA
CDA.
meeting better.
Okay. Diane?
Resolution 423.
2011 Chips Town Truck Refurbishing Capital Project. So moved.
This is 422, I believe, right?
Yes.
No, 423.
422.
422.
Oh, I have it here, I'm sorry.
All right,
Excuse me.
I'll second
I'm
it.
sorry, excuse me, 422.
I'll second.
No, we haven't moved.
Moved and seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 423.
Awards bid for Henry Pfeiffer Community Center 500-gallon above-ground oil tank installation and a 1,000-gallon underground oil tank removal. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 424.
Awards bid for Jamesport Town Beach Boardwalk and Pavilion. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Can't wait. Yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 425.
Awards bid on 2007 ASV 100 HP track skid loader. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 426.
Appoints part-time call-in recreation leader to the Youth Bureau. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 427.
Appoints call-in recreational aid to the Recreation Department. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 428.
Appoint seasonal call-in beach attendants to the Recreation Department. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 429.
Appoint seasonal call-in lifeguards to the Recreation Department. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 430.
Appoints a call-in recreation aid 1 to the Riverhead Recreation Department. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 431.
Should do these all together. Appoints a call-in recreational aid 1 to the Recreation Department. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 432.
Appoints a call-in park attendant 3 to the Recreation Department. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 433.
Appoints call-in park attendant 3 to the Recreation Department. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 434.
Appoints a summer recreation program leader to the Recreation Department. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 435.
Appoints a scorekeeper level 4 to the Recreation Department. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 436.
Appoint seasonal recreation aides to the Recreation Department. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 437.
Appoints a Recreation Aid 1, Level 1 skate park to the Recreation Department. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 438.
Authorize the town supervisor to enter into a renewal of professional engineering service agreement. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 439.
It appoints a hearing officer. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
No.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes. No choice. Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 440.
Adopts a local law to amend Chapter 101 entitled Vehicles and Traffic of the Riverhead Town Code. That's 101.4, it's one-way streets. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 441.
I make a motion, we table resolution number 441.
And I second it.
Moved and seconded, vote on tabling.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
No.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
The resolution is tabled. Resolution 442.
Appoints member to the Board of Ethics. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes, I think Jean Marie Costello will make a great, another person on the Ethics Board. So I vote yes.
Walter.
Yes, and Thomas Costello was a former town justice here for many years. That was her father, and he was a town, was he a town board member as well? I think he might have been a town board member as well, so Jean Marie is following in the family tradition. to some
Resolution
extent.
adopted. Resolution 443.
Extends a bid for quick lube maintenance for the Riverhead Water District. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 444.
Authorize the supervisor to execute a license agreement with Sun Never Sets Productions, LLC, and that's to utilize portions of the Town of Riverhead Enterprise Park at Calverton, Weston Runway, Taxiway, Grumman Boulevard, River Road, Calverton for a Top Gear series. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 445.
Approves the Chapter 90 application of Abate of New York, Long Island Chapter Veterans Appreciation Run, June 12, 2011. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
And it's at the Riverhead Elks Lodge. Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 446.
446, ratifies approval of a Chapter 90 application for River Elks Lodge, number 2044, lawnmower event and children's bicycle races, May 29, 2011. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 447.
This establishes a location for the farmer's market for the 2011 season. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 448.
Authorize the supervisor to execute a professional services agreement with the Rayner Group PE and LS PLLC for construction, monitoring, and inspection services for Ep Carroll Recreation Facility site improvements and entrance to Ep Carroll Recreational Facility. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes, agree.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes, and I just want to point out that they paved the main road now, so
Getting ready.
things are moving in the right
Get
direction.
some stripes
Yahoo.
up there. We're good to go.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 449.
Amends resolution number 407. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Dunleavy,
Yes.
Walter,
We're paying them the other ones.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, yes.
resolution adopted. Resolution 450.
Make a motion to pay the bills.
Second?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio,
Yes.
Gabrielson,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Dunleavy,
Yes.
Walter,
Yes.
resolution adopted. Resolution,
We have 3 to take off the table. Can I
Yes.
get a motion to take?
I'll make a motion to untable resolutions 412, 413, and 417.
Got a second?
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio,
Yes.
Gabrielson,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Dunleavy,
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolutions 412, 413, and 417 are untabled.
Okay, I'd like to move resolution 412, which amends resolution number 371. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio,
Yes.
Gabrielson,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Dunleavy,
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted. Then we have 413.
413 amends Resolution 372. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio,
Yes.
Gabrielson,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted. Resolution 417.
Change the status of an employee. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio,
Yes.
Gabrielson,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
All right, we have one to come off the floor if the board wants to do it. We didn't, I don't know if Anne Marie had a chance to speak to. We had 2 bids that came in from, to do our market study. One was RKG, and the other one I'm not quite sure of. VHB has evaluated both of the bids. We gave out information last week to the board members, and I think the recommendation of VHB and the town attorney's office is to award this to RKG. And we could have Anne Marie come in and talk about it. I just didn't want to let any grass grow between the cracks, if you will. I wanted to try to move this as quickly as possible.
Move it, Sue.
It's our standard consulting services agreement. And I don't know if anybody has any questions.
Nope.
I'll move it.
Okay.
Authorize the supervisor to execute agreement with RKG Associates Incorporated. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio,
Yes.
Gabrielson,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Dunleavy,
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
The resolution is taken off the floor.
And now we need to get a, can we have a motion to adopt? Oh, Councilman Wooten, looks like you're on there.
Motion to what? Adopt.
Adopt, that was to take it off the floor.
Oh, I thought we just moved it.
That took it off the floor.
Oh, that was to take it off the floor?
That was to take it
Yeah.
off the floor.
All right, well then I'll like to move resolution 451, authorizing the supervisor to execute agreement with RKG Associates Incorporated.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio,
Yes.
Gabrielson,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yeah.
Dunleavy.
I wasn't in favor of this to begin with, and I just think that we had a reuse plan once, and we didn't seem to follow it, and we're doing another reuse plan, but the town board has voted for it, so I have to go along, and I'm gonna vote yes to this RKG.
And Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
Kumbaya, John.
Do we take up the zoning board of appeals stuff from this calendar? Is that why this is here? ZBA? All right, does anybody wish to be heard on any other matter before the town? Yes. The ZBA.
My name is Sue Hanson from Rocky Point, and I guess before I make any comments, I came a little late. Did I miss anything with regard to the animal shelter?
That's right. You almost missed a record meeting, but no.
So basically everything is still status quo.
From your perspective, yes, but not from mine.
So personnel hasn't changed,
Not yet.
and the euthanasia policy has not changed.
Not officially.
Okay, and there's no movement on putting anybody new in charge as a director or some sort of figurehead that would be in charge of management?
Not officially.
Okay.
You missed Jackson. He was a cute little puppy for adoption.
I think you're going to have a lot of cute little puppies for
Yeah.
adoption if things don't start changing soon.
Yeah, he was cute.
I have an email that I was asked to submit at this meeting as a matter of personal record, as a matter of record, from Gina, who's been volunteering at the animal shelter. Gina's been going up on weekends. She's a professional trainer, and she's been having some terrific success with the dogs.
She sure has.
In particular, the dogs with issues that are typically kept in the back that are not up for adoption and who are not taken out as frequently as maybe they should be, because people don't feel comfortable handling them. Pat Lynch forwarded this email to me, and Gina gave a very detailed account on the progress that some of those dogs are having. However, I won't take the time to read this. It's about 4 pages long, but
Is that also addressed to me?
yes.
Because I'll share that with the board.
Okay. What she does point out, though, is that she recognizes that there aren't very many volunteers up there, and as a result, the dogs are not getting out very frequently, and this is having an adverse effect on their behavior. The dogs are getting crazy. There's something that's called kennel rage that can develop over time when dogs are kept in the same spot without rotation and without any interaction. And again, this is something that the board really needs to look at seriously and start to make some changes, some progressive changes. So I'd like to submit that. And again, I'd just like to emphasize the fact that Gina has been working diligently. She's been doing this as a volunteer. And that's in contrast to the fact that you have paid personnel that are not even present at their jobs and that are costing the town money. And Gina would like to be able to work with these dogs more frequently, but as it stands now, she's volunteering a day of her week free of charge. She is available to work more frequently, but I know that you're restricted financially. But at the same time, I want you to recognize that there are finances that could be used if they were shifted, and if
RSVP raised some money, we would happily probably use those services.
RSVP raises not a lot of money, and everything that they raise goes towards the dogs, unlike the money that's used for the animal shelter, 80% of which is used for personnel. 100%.
So I know what you mean.
100% of our funds go towards the dogs, as it's an all-volunteer group.
It's true.
So, again, at the risk of being redundant, I just want to point out the fact that we've been here time and time again waiting for changes to occur, and we're still waiting. And hopefully something will happen within the very near future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody else wish to be heard today?
Yes, I want to be heard.
Okay.
I want to be heard.
You want to be heard.
I move we adjourn.
All in favor?
Second.
Aye. Now board meeting adjourned. Thank you.
I'll forward that letter to you guys. It was a very good letter. Yeah, she took a lot of work. I just got the letter today.